sacks, at least finish with at least 5 sacks this season
Whoa,
coming
whoa,
from
whoa,
the
whoa,
season.
whoa. Okay, I'm gonna need you to stop right there just for a second because I just saw this on air button pop on, and I don't want you spilling the tea, man, before we get into doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Because people would just go ahead and click off and say he just gave me all the answers in the first 30 seconds of the show, and that is not what we are trying to do here. We got a little bit of tease factor, man, to try to keep people around for 30, 45 minutes. Even though
Gotcha.
sometimes we go really long and we be going hour 15. Uh, but anyway, here we are. Teague's take. JT just did us so wrong. Just hit the button. They ain't even
Well,
tell
he was
nobody.
he was giving us
Yeah.
information, so I was like, all right,
Right.
well, I got to go ahead and just in case we lose it,
Yeah,
I need to get it
I,
recorded.
I
Yeah.
feel you. You want all the content and all the facts. You can't get mad at JT about that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
We
keep the man in context, man.
I know. I'm glad I was looking at the screen to pay attention because he would have said something. Because he said some information right before this that was pretty solid. I'd be like, hey, man, it's always the meeting before the meeting when you spill too much information. I'm like, hey, man, that's show content. Then you forget to say it on the show and you'd be like,
Which
ah,
is why I
we
hit
didn't
the
even get it.
button.
Well, he's a bright man. He's a smart man. He went to South Carolina. He got some sense on him. You know what I'm saying? And but then it's always post show too. Oh, I should have said this during the show. Whatever. We ain't got no time, so we just got to be able to get it in. But anyway, here we are. We did a little bit of pre-show that you're listening to right now. Uh, but y'all know what we do, man. We try to line this up. Today, the topic of the show is really be able to talk about Tim Smith, defensive tackle, Alabama. Should he stay? Should he go ahead and get in the draft? What does it look like? We got an expert on the podcast with us tonight to be able to talk technical stuff where we can really dive into this. We know you guys really like to learn football, particularly up front because it's so essential up there. What do they do with their hands, their feet, all their placements, all those things is super, super important. And it's hard for us DBs to kind of talk about it sometimes even though we go to our sessions and things of that nature, that happens. So, without further ado, I'll come back, give this young man a great introduction here, but we're going to go ahead and start Teague's Take right now. All right, man, we're back. First thing you need to do right now while you're watching this show, before you get distracted about anything else, is you need to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit it, right? Share the link, tell people where we at. Let us know how what you think about the show and what you need to see. Okay. We always like feedback and things of that nature. We appreciate you for coming in every single time and being a member of the Teagues Take family. Because that means you're a Teagster. All right. One thing in my heart that I need to tell you before we get into this show, man, I saw something today. It was I call him a buddy. We didn't actually play together, but it's Roy Williams, the other number 31 for the Dallas Cowboys, right? He always be catching heat about whether he could cover and all this kind of stuff. Man, it just made me feel some kind of way or whatever because we're always talking about positions, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later on. What's good, what's bad. Y'all realize that Roy Williams was like Pro Bowl like 5, 6 times. I think he played 9 years or something like that. All pro, everything. He's one of the most feared safeties in the league. He was knocking blocks off, destroying people. One of the hardest hitting safeties I've seen in the entire league forever. Right? He made some good points on Instagram where he was saying, "Hey, you look at 1 or 2 games, and sometimes that defines you, even though it might not be true." Right? So for him, it was in a negative aspect. Yeah, was it really his fault on certain plays? Probably not. Could have been the corner being out of position. They just happened to see a 31 chasing. That I know how that feels. I've told you that it was Washington Redskins at the time, right? Where I'm chasing a wide receiver. I'm the only one in the picture with him, but it's because our corner didn't go play man to man, and I went over there, and then here I am, look like I and way out of position, right? That's basically what he was saying. Hey, some of these plays really weren't his fault. And I agree with them, right? Again, you could be I was on the other side of being known for something that maybe I didn't do all the time, right? You remember some of my really, really big plays, and I appreciate you guys for knowing that. But there are games where it didn't go my well or go my way either. I've shared stuff like that playing against Florida, right? Playing against the Giants. Just some games where, man, I could not do anything right. Never forget those things. Okay. So all I'm saying is if you don't know what you're talking about when you watch a film and all that stuff, don't judge people like that. Come to Teague's Take, listen to what we're saying, showing you the film on really happens, and give you the real scoop. All right. That's my run out. Now I need to go ahead and bring in my young man. I call him JT. Y'all call him James Teague. Y'all call him Coach Teague. Y'all call him everything, right? Last week or 2 weeks ago, I gave him a nickname called Fortune Cookie. He's the one behind the scenes to make us look good and well on here. Can I bring in James Teague?
Yeah, as long as you stop calling me fortune cookie, I don't want that to stick. So please stop putting that on the internet.
Well, you know what? You spit some knowledge on everybody. You shot some stuff that came to fruition a little bit later, so you were just ahead of the game. Isn't that what fortune cookies are all about? Kind of giving you a little bit of scoop, like, hey, you about to be told or asked this crazy question,
Yeah, I
and
mean, but we have names for people who do that. There's psychics and fortune tellers and Nostradamus.
so you want to be called Nostradamus? Is that what you're
I think
saying?
that I think that's better than fortune cookie.
Well, you're light skinned, you just you kind of built like one. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying? It
god.
just yeah. But anyway, hope you're doing well today, brother. Hope the family's doing good, and I hope the grandkids are doing well. And we're just glad to have you here working the mic or the turntable. We gotta get you a turntable so you can scratch a little bit. Go give us a little bit, chugga, 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 because
Uh,
you yeah, okay, that's the best way. I say, well, get something that way. The YouTube won't kick us off for that because I won't call you Jam Master J. Are you old enough to know who Jam Master J is?
yes, I'm old enough to know who Jam Master J is.
Okay, all right. Well, look, I want to go ahead and bring in our guest because this guy, I'm gonna tell you about him, but what I want you to know before I even talk about it is he has a lot of personality, right? He's funny, he likes to laugh, but he's serious, he's knowledgeable, uh, he works with a lot of people, but it's really who he is and what he stands for that kind of attracts you to him. He's fair, he's honest, right? And so this guy, he's a buddy, another NFL alumni who played 10 years in the National Football League as a defensive lineman. Um, Pretty much a big dude that is just known for his presence of being very powerful, right? Want to be on the field. And like I said, I don't think that he parsed any words on the field. I don't know for sure, JT. I hadn't found any mic'd up episodes, but I bet this guy had a few little words to say on the field. I don't know. He's a little bit younger than me by about 10 years or so. He's from Brooklyn, so he got a little shit in his tank. Sorry, I just gotta say it right. He ended up going to play college football in South Carolina, then uh, jumped into the league in 2003. So he came in right after I got finished, essentially. Like I said, he played 10 years. One of them, teams he played for the Dallas Cowboys, but he played for the Bengals, Saints. I think most people recognize him as being with the Kansas City Chiefs because he's very versatile and he really helped structure that line and the presence that they had as being very, very solid, right? Because of the way that they play football. And he was very physical. That probably remember the most in the year 2010 with the Chiefs because they played the defense really turned around at that point. Another piece you'd like to know is he's pretty big and active in the community. One thing that he does have is he has a foundation. It's called the Sean Smith 91 Ways Foundation, where he likes to enrich and empower their local youth and their families by supporting community organizations. They provide a safe learning environment and provide academic achievement, right? And they also promote emotional and physical health. Another piece that you need to know is that he actually works with uh, college guys, pro guys, getting them ready for combine, evaluating all them kind of stuff. So this is a big piece for us because he will be able to really dissect this film for us. And I think JT is probably more excited than I am because he is part of the JP2 football staff. He will be working with our defensive line this year. Y'all help me welcome in Sean Smith. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, my man? How you doing over there, big fella?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Enjoying life. A couple of days I've been over here looking at this playbook JT got over here with all this terminology he got going on, man. So it's gonna be interesting.
I got another one coming for you. I got the final version. I'm going.
Oh, the final version.
Yeah, the final version.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, as long as it's the final version, I mean, that means we're gonna still add on. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. It's the final version now, but I guarantee you by August we'll change it again something else.
You ain't ever looked on your computer where it says, and every time you download it, it says final version, but then it has one. Then it has
two.
final version,
Dude,
2, final version,
lie.
3.
I was getting ready for the clinic. The first day of the clinic we supposed to be doing together. And I'm putting the slides together, and I'm like, "There's a typo there. This dude's not in the right shade." And so I had just emailed what was the final version to him like an hour before, and I had to email him back and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna have to send it to you tomorrow because it ain't right."
I don't think you resent me the other.
I didn't because I did it 3 more times because I kept finding typos and stuff in it. So
okay, all right. Well, we're glad you're here. Sean, thank you for joining the Teague's Take and coming on and helping us talk through this stuff. Before we get into the film, we kind of wanted to hit on something else really fast and kind of see what your thought is. And I want to hear JT's take a little bit too on colleges not going through with the spring games now. Is it really just, hey, we don't want to get guys hurt? And how do you feel about that, Sean? Do you think does that hurt football any by not playing spring games on the collegiate level?
Not really, because you gotta think about it. The spring game is a free game. It ain't like they charge the fans. This is a day for the fans to come know the players a little bit more and see what you got. Really see the guys working in the off season and seeing who's got better and who's getting worse and who we're gonna get rid of and who's gonna hit the transfer portal. That's really what it is. I think that's one of the reasons why they want to stop the game because it's like free agency. You get to see what I got. It was like we could make a trade. It's not really a trade in college. You can't make a trade, but guys are jumping that portal because, hey, coach, look at our spring game. Look what I did. I show you I could play. I was running with the ones. So, yeah, I need a new receiver over there. Let me go ahead and go over there. I could be the receiver hitting the portal.
Man, I wish that could happen. If they're going to work this thing out being the pros, I think we need to have college trades, man. Just you want to leave. I want one of your guys. He want to leave. Let's just put him on the plane.
That's probably about 10 years away. That's probably about 10 years away in the future. But I mean, as far as like I was saying earlier, collegiate sports is when you hiring GM managers for basketball, for football, we're gonna have revenue sharing. So you're gonna lock the money up. So you gotta have somebody to manage. You gotta have a real GM.
Well, JT, I think was that you telling me that Texas one of the ones who kind of cut the game out here recently?
Yeah, there were 4. I can't remember exactly who the 4 was, but I saw that Texas was the one that stuck out to me because that was of the 4. I mean, it was Nebraska, Texas, and 2 other schools, and to me, Texas was the most notable. That could also be because we live here, but.
But also, you know why it's most notable too, though? Because everybody got poached from his staff. He lost a lot of guys off his coaching staff.
No, I didn't even realize that.
NFL. He lost running back choice to Detroit Lions as the running back coach. He was
Tashard?
like yeah, he went to Detroit.
Oh,
He went to
that's right.
Detroit for the running back coach. The Cowboys didn't want to pay him, so he ended up getting a job with Detroit.
Why you have to go in on the Cowboys that fast, man? This ain't even a Cowboy show.
Man, I know that, but I'm saying though, I mean, hey, I love Jerry Jones. I always gonna have respect for Jerry Jones because he gave me my first opportunity to play in the National Football League. But it's just a show. It's just a show here. I'm not making it about the Cowboys, but it's a popularity show over here.
Yeah, I know, man. It just every time you hit me with the Cowboys, you want to answer that, JT? Josh's question?
Yeah. So Josh asked, is it because they don't want to reveal the depth chart and have guys run to the portal? Mostly, yes. I would say, for me, it's the first part of the question that I kind of don't agree with, because it's like you're gonna know, like if you're the player or you're going through practice, like you have an idea of what the depth chart is. I don't think it's particularly that you don't want to run guys off. I think it's that you don't want to show other schools that you have some new hotness that's about to come off the bench, and then the back channel. I don't want to use the word tampering because technically it's legal. If you call the high school coach and the high school coach tells him, you got a loophole. But I think they don't want that to happen.
Is it legal for other universities to have scouts? I got my air quotes because I'm thinking like the pros, how they have to go scout players and all that. Can you scout guys now? Can the University of Alabama send somebody to Mississippi State spring game and just kind of be looking at the game? Taking notes and going,
I think
hey.
people do that.
I
think people do that.
I don't think they have to go though, right? I mean, we saw what's on PFF.
Yeah, that's true. I just wonder if it's just one of those things like what you just said. You made me think of it. Man, this dude's out there, and you got your source, your handler, whoever that says, man, call that dude and see what he really wants. Can we poach him?
Yeah, but that's what you got the NIL agent for. That's all the NIL agent is doing. Doing the backlash before a kid even hits the portal. You got guys. I ain't gonna say me per se, but you have guys that have relationships with different kids. But I'm just being honest.
And they hit the portal with that with the do not contact tag on.
Yeah, do not contact because they got somebody working behind the scenes for them.
Just crazy. Can we stop calling it NIL? Because it's not NIL. That is such that they're not getting paid for their.
I mean, it is. You have NIL and you have collective.
Why are these guys making $100,000, $200,000? The intent was supposed to be so you can go be on a commercial, sell promote the car, the whatever it is, and you get some change because we couldn't work back in the day. So now they're saying, hey, you can do social media, you can make some money. You can go speak, you can make some money. You can do some stuff. You can call it whatever you want to, but guys, they're asking for raises.
The boosters taking care of the players at the end of the day. I'm just being honest.
That's true. That's true. It is free agency.
The boosters make the program run. What is it going to take?
We need to pull up that clip. Who we have? Was it Brian Broaddus that was on the show? Was talking about being a bag man?
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. Hey, them bags are out there now. They don't even have to hide the bag no more. They just...
Yeah, it don't even have to come in a Chick-fil-A bag or a McDonald's bag or whatever Tennessee was handing out.
No, they put them in rubber bands now. Big stacks, man, and just to shake their hands. So here you go, bro.
Duffel bags.
When I was in school, it was either you get the envelope or a handshake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Y'all got big hands. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the little guys, man.
I almost came to Alabama.
Oh, so you saying South Carolina came through? What you got? You got a Cadillac? You look like you probably want a Cadillac back in the day or something.
Nah, you know what? That's what y'all Alabama's had. That's what y'all players had. Kenny King and all them boys had them. They had the Denali's. Matter of fact, they had the Denali. That's what GMC was heavy. I remember Kenny King had the gray one, Darius Monroe, all them boys. I came to Alabama, Freddie Millins, all of them.
Nah, you tripping, dog.
You don't like the truth, man, about the school, man. You don't like the truth about Bama, man.
Okay, well, we're gonna see what you gonna tell the truth about this film. JT, was there one more topic that I said we were gonna talk about before we go get to this deal? Because I kind of want to talk about this guy and see what we really think about Mr. Tim. You know, so the purpose of what we're trying to do here is really just try to give you guys some evaluation. Maybe talk some stuff about technical things, what's good, what isn't, how can get better. We'll lean on Sean with a lot of this stuff. I think I know enough about it to be able to prompt him about that. We've had a lot of defensive linemen people on our show over the course of years. You know, Casillas, man, they're just people that know a lot of football that I like to be around to be able to really learn what it's like up front. So I want to get to this part and talk about him and see what, because I think there's some differences between defensive tackle, defensive end, maybe how you evaluate them. I don't know, what you're necessarily looking for from that, because there's different areas. Maybe Sean will be able to tell us a little bit also about what kind of scheme, what does he really fit in? Is it, what are people really looking for? When you're looking at a 4-3 type of person plus a 3-4 type of guy, and where does he fit? Can he play nose guard, or does he have to be a defensive end in a 3-4, just be a 1 technique or a 3 technique? I don't know. All those things are kind of interesting to me. So we got a few clips that we kind of go through. We'll take our time getting through it. Some of it may look similar to you, but I think there's just some really intricate parts to everything in there. I don't know if I highlighted the guys or not. I think I did, but maybe I erased them. So JT might have to do it. There we go. All right, so we're looking at this, and I'll let you, Sean, you kind of take over this. We do try to teach JT. We call this a 2-eye, right? And so kind of want to get Sean to kind of talk to us a little bit about, first of all.
All right, so what we got right here, we got quarterback in the backfield. We got the tight end offset, which is going in motion. The D tackle right now is in a 2-eye. He should have his hand down closest to the ball.
I think he's in a 4-point stance right now.
Yeah, it's kind of, some people when they're in the 2-eye, they do line up in a 4-point stance. Me as a coach and being a former player, I don't like that, because that's only for goal line situation or short yardage. And this situation is not. It's not a short yardage play. But
hey, hold on. Go into that a little bit more for me, because I love what you're saying about that. But does it make it
and I have a follow-up
easier?
Question.
Does it make it? Why would you want to do that as a player, to say, hey, we're out on the field? Is it just taught and said, hey, you're more comfortable here, or does it hinder the way what you have to do with your hands?
It hinders your footwork, and your hand placement sometimes, because it depends. Now, if you get in zone at him, if they was going zone to our right now, the defensive right, he'll be fine. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But he could also false step sometimes too, and that's what guys get, because guys, especially in high school, they get caught up in trying to play 2 guys. You got to beat the man in front of you first before you can even worry about the double team to separate, to get them on 2 different levels. So initially, right now, his alignment is perfect. He's perfect. He's better than the supposedly 1 take over
here. Yeah, well, because he's like,
that's a gap.
He's actually in the gap, and so that's on a half a man.
And which I really think he probably should have been more shaded on the center, or even head up, as I call it, even front. When you got both tackles head up over the guard and your ends head up on tackles.
Okay. All right. So what are you looking for first?
My follow-up question here is, if you're in a head up, so if he was in a 2, what would his stance be? Would you have him in a 4-point stance then, or no?
No, never in a 4-point stance like that. He would still have his left hand down, and staggered a little bit, and you got to know what blocks you're getting. Because guess what? There's no tight end on this side right now. But if this guy comes in motion, as you see, he comes in motion, yeah, that'll make you bump out a little bit because then you could be heads up. And if they are running the zone that way, you'll be front side to make everything cut back to the free hitter.
Okay.
Got it. He basically said use 4-point down on goal line.
Yep.
All right, here
But
we
look
go.
at his initial step though. Look at him. Watch run a play. Point of attack, a little high, but I like the engagement first. Could be a pad level, could be a little better. Could be a little bit better. But guess what? He's in the A gap, doing his job. Now he could be even better. This is how you make your money. Get off the block. You already beat the block. If he just lock out with extend his arms and lock out and shed, he's right there. And he's trying to take on two guys with one arm. So that lets you know the kid got strong strength and a good first step.
Mm-hmm. Okay, JT, can you say that? So do you think, what do you got? How do you know when you need to come off? At what point does he need to try to shed? So we're talking about that. There it is. Now he's got this guy
You
coming.
see right there, he should have shed because the other guy, the guy's coming in almost like a wham play. It's like the little wham that they bring the short motion with the tight end, the Jason Witten play. Well, actually, that's the tackle pulling.
Yeah, it kind of looks
So
like
on
trap.
that, yeah.
But they blocked. Maybe they didn't block this very well either. Did huh? If they were trying.
Well, see, they're using the back to replace the tackle and bring the tackle in because normally it'll be that back coming in short motion and coming in with the tight end wham on it. I used to call it a wham, not trap, but they used the tackle.
Because they didn't actually just let him go here. It wasn't a true like kick out. So
yeah, not trap. And that wham.
Basically, that was it. But he's perfect there. There's nothing to do. The backer just got to come and fill the hole. 11 got to get downhill and make it.
Yeah, 11. This particular game, I don't think he had a very good game.
Monica, what's up, cuz? We're glad you're in
But
the
see,
house.
also you see that, but guess what though? You take it back. Tim's doing good, but the other guy is doing bad. So if the other guy played it right, because initially, if he was tighter, he was already in the gap. If he played the center, if you play the double team, if you put his hands on the center first and put his backside to that guard, there's really nowhere to run in between here then. You squeeze it off the middle. You're going to either make it bounce to either the outside left or the outside right.
Okay. Well, yeah, so what he's talking about here, and at some point, I think I don't know if he gets double teamed or anything where you're talking about how you actually beat double teams and what they actually kind of teach you on how to do that. Okay, so this is the next one. He's in a 3 technique now. So that's outside the guard. Before he's in a 2-eye, which is inside the guard. Now he's outside the guard. 3 technique. All right. Anything change here?
No, he's in a great alignment. Great alignment.
Okay. And I'm assuming, so talk about that for a second. So you just talked about the hands. He's in a 3-point stance. Right before the snap, he dropped his left hand down. What is that all about? Is that something?
I think he's not comfortable. He's not comfortable with playing with his right hand down. He's top heavy, or either he got some type of read during the week to think that a double team is about to come to him. Because look at it, he looks inside. Initially, his contact, he plays high as one of his downfalls. He plays high, but he's very physical. He has a great first step when he's consistent on stepping straight and putting his hand down.
Okay, talk about this part where you're trying to now. I don't know what technique you call it. I'm calling it a straight arm. You know, he's trying to lock that. It looks like he's trying to lock his outside. He's trying to lock his outside.
He's trying to lock his outside arm to press him. Because normally in that kind of block, he's getting a base block, almost like a reach a little bit. So he's trying to kick the guard, he's trying to kick him out, but he's in a B gap as he should be. He did his job.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that you don't think that the right arm. So you're saying that if you're on
he should have locked the right arm should have been locked out some more. He should have originally stale him out, lock him out, and know which way you can shut him, either left or right, depending on where the running back is. Because the way I play it was I put the guard in the gap to bait him. So when the running back decides, if the running back wants to come back outside, I throw shed and go outside. Or I play pickable. I think the guy think I'm coming inside and shed him.
Hey, that's good terminology right there that you guys need to keep playing peekaboo, baby. Hide them eyes in the which way I'm going. And make
Yeah,
sure
and
you
right
guys.
there, you can come up and make a play.
So you like that? Because you always talk about how. Can you just kind of tell us how hard is this? Because I always talk about what kind of eyesight do you have? How do you train your eyes that you're getting blocked? You're looking at this guy right in the mouth. He's spitting on you, looking at you. How do you actually see the ball? you know.
Uh, it's more like it's like this drill we do call fight pressure, where you close your eyes and you gotta feel it. It's about
Mm.
feel, and you feel it. When he's trying to reach you, you gotta know. Oh, he's trying to reach you. Get to my outside shoulder. Now I need to press him back the other way. Boom. Then press him back the other way. Press him back the other way. Press him back the other way. Just keep pressing him back off of. It's a feel. That's the thing. That's why your hands got to be inside. If your hands is outside on the shoulder pads, you don't win. It's about in the trenches is about the low man, leverage, and getting who gets their hands inside.
Okay. All right. Well, so there's a couple of things that he said on here that I'm liking. JT, if I'm hearing it right, saying that he's very powerful, very strong kind of deal. Maybe getting his pad level a little bit high. Maybe he can dive in that and figure out how do you keep guys low. What kind of drills do you do? What are you in? Is that sled work? Is that how do you keep someone's hat
I
going?
mean, sled work, the shoots, really, the shoots. Sled work is shoots.
Yeah. Well, there's so many different kind of sleds that I see for defensive linemen. Some of them are real low, some of them are not. You got the left sleds that pop up, but some of them are down low, some of them are
Man,
higher.
the best sled that work is the old school sled, the basic sled. All that new technology they come out with, all that. I don't believe in all that. I'm just keep it simple. I'm just being honest because yeah, you can come out with this, but at the end of the day, tackling is tackling, and a reach block is a reach block. A base block is a base block. A fan block is a fan block. That has not changed in the 44 years I've been living on this earth. So it's basic. It's just a better way. You got to skin a cat and understand. The more film study you understand, the better off you become a better player.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm even going to add on that. The more film study you have by being here on Cheesesteak, the better fan you're going to be as well, because you're going to know what's going on when you're watching these games, and when you sit next to that person that don't know what the heck they talking about, you can be like, "Hey, man,
Hey man,
that's
just watch
not
the
what they
game.
said. That's not what they said. You can pull it up and just show it to them. Hold on. All right. So, quick test. What did we say this position was for you guys watching this? 2 eye, right? I can't tell if both hands are down or not. I see it does look like both hands are down.
Maybe I can go to the wide angle and
Is that a glove?
You DBs
yeah,
love the wide angle, man.
We do, but JT made a good point because you can see both his hands down. So
yep.
look at the difference in the stances. Just for that, if JT can circle the 3 technique, his left hand is down. This is what coach is saying that he likes when they're down in a stance. Honestly,
Probably because the force or you don't have no balance in a four stance. You can't 4 point stance. You can't go left or right. I don't
you're
feel like that.
heavy going forward.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna fall forward, and that gives the lineman easy to just hit you in your head and just sit on you and teabag you.
So, oh, yeah. So I'm curious here before we show the play, JT, with this from a coaching perspective. I mean, you're saying this, and I don't know what Alabama's saying. Maybe they're just like, "Hey, man, he plays better this way because said it before. He's not very comfortable. We can't get his stance right. We need him, so we're just gonna let him go." Or when you get to this level, he's a senior now. Do you just kind of let him go? Just be like, "Hey, we got to get the most out of him." Allow them to play, um, and not worry about the technique too much. I say that because I know they do it with quarterbacks a lot of the time. Hey, sometimes you just can't fix their mechanics. You just gotta let them sling it the way that they're get the ball out fast. So
Yeah,
what do you think?
they let him get away with a lot because of his first. He has a great first step. I ain't gonna lie, I like his first step and the way he play. He plays physical. I just think he needs more understanding of the game.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we get here. Don't know what kind of. All right. So is this a zone or not? What do you call this right off? Is this zone left?
Yeah, it's split zone to
So
me.
Zone. Okay. So here we go. Is it too much Dance, what do you say with this? Once he strikes, is his head? Is it okay with you? Because it just looks like he's kind
I
of
mean,
moving
I
his head.
like it, but
This is
I like it.
peekaboo. Is this the peekaboo technique that you were talking about a minute ago? Like,
Yes, actually, it is.
Okay.
But once you see it go, you already got the guy standing up. You see in these big numbers, you gotta either you put him in it, or you people, or just get off and go. That should be a 2-yard loss play.
All right. So I'm saying this from the standpoint because I'm coming from a evaluation standpoint. Okay, not anything else. Because we think he's a great player. I loved it. I think I voted on some of the games he was just very disruptive. He might not have been like totally dominant like a Aaron Donald or something of that nature, but it seemed like he always did good things. So when you're trying to evaluate from an NFL standpoint and you're looking at this, what does that really make you think about it? You said, okay, he's good enough to play, but he's probably just going to be initially, if he came in now, he's probably going to be a backup. Know what you're saying? Just
I
get some
mean, he's either
rotation,
going to
get some
be
rep.
right now. If he was to come in, he either going to get drafted on day 3 or be undrafted, 6th, 7th round pick, and you try to develop him some more to get him a better understanding of the game. But just finding out, I talked to you guys earlier that he has another year. If I'm him, I'm going back to school to improve my stock. Just period. Because right now, there's no point in going to the draft to go in the 6th or 7th round with as many defensive linemen. This is a heavy draft class of defensive linemen, tight ends. Heavy. So if I'm him, I'm going back to school because guess what? They can pay him, and the word you don't like to say, the NIL money.
Oh yeah, he gonna make more. You try to say he gonna make more at Alabama anyway, instead of going to get that 6, 7 round money, which ain't gonna be, comparatively speaking. You probably can make more in
at worst case,
college.
Yeah, and then if he did go leave, in worst case scenario, he might be a practice squad. So that's what,
That's
10K a week, something like that.
That's significantly less.
Okay, significantly less. But he's a kid that I know you got connections. You need to get his phone number and tell him tap in with me so I can break him down and help him out a little bit more. Because this kid really, I'm be honest with you, when you send me the clips, I watched them and I was like, man, he's raw. He's still raw. And depending on if he goes to the right organization, he could be a guy that played 10 years like myself. You know what I mean? Sure. I don't know about his off the field type stuff, but I watching him, I see him run to the ball. He's always showing up in film. So scouts like that. You know what I mean? So he'd probably be a high priority free agent if he doesn't go back to school.
Okay. All right. This clip, I don't know, is this another gap or do you call this 2-eye, JT? He wasn't really set. Looked like we're still moving like defense.
Yeah, but he's squaring the gap here too. I don't think he's. I don't know what number you give this one because I mean he's.
It's not really a number on this. He's just in a gap. When you're just in a gap,
he's just a
player. Yeah, he's just a gap. It's a gap because I don't even know why Alabama is in this because it looks like they late to shift it.
Yeah, and I think it looks like him right here. He's like,
who ain't I supposed to be over there?
Yeah, ain't you supposed to be here? I'm supposed to be right here.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's supposed to be the shade, and the 3's supposed to be over here.
Over here? What do you mean?
Over here?
A 3 technique, yeah. It should be a 3 technique. A 3 technique right here and a shade right here. That'll balance it out.
Are you saying shade 5'9", or what are you saying here?
Yes.
Treating this like double tight.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's actually the tight end. You got the wing over here.
Yes.
5 shade, 3, and then the 9. But he looks confused. You got motion running this way.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. All right, so how much does this mess you up? Talk about mindset here. Hey, linebackers don't got us lined up right. They snapped the ball. Now, how easy is it to get out of gaps? And because we talk about it all the time.
It's very easy to get ready. If the center's ready, you should be ready. No matter what they do in motion, defensive linemen should always be ready. Because all we doing is reacting. So right here, yeah, even though he's late, what's his name? It's actually not bad because the center came back to him and the guard pulled. So he should have pressed that and get over the top of it. Actually, he did press. He put the center on his back, but it would have made it even better if he just pressed him and get over the top and make the play sooner.
Let me ask you something, just because you brought it up. Make sure before I forget my train of thought here. You were talking about how you guys start, right? So I think most people always say, watch the ball, watch the ball, watch the ball. If you're concentrating on the man so much, I know the answer. I just wanted to see if you can explain it to our folks. Because you can't really just be looking at the ball if you're trying to figure out if this person's going to go right or left and what are we getting. So how are you knowing when to actually start? What are you looking at? How do you teach the guys to say, hey, man, don't be late?
Pre-snap, we break the huddle. So as soon as you break the huddle, we're supposed to find out what a tight end is so we get the close call, whether it's strong left, strong right, depending on where we're going. If we got something from the boundary, we got a blitz coming from the boundary on the open side. It all depends. But in this situation right here, we should be pre-snap ready. He should be in a 1 technique. He should be over here in a 3.
Yeah, it looks like they're he's still confused, but I think he is right in that they're trying to move over because they're getting this.
But see,
he ends up going this way, and it's all messed up on this side over here. It's kind of a miracle that they
didn't know what to call the blocker scheme.
But see, technically, but during the week in pre-coaching and everything, you would know with this man hand down, we call him the shrimp to him because that's the tight end. With the motion going back and forth, we know that doesn't do nothing. That's just messing with the passing strip and trying to see if we in zone or man. So up front, it doesn't change nothing for us.
Yep. Okay. So and I probably didn't ask my question very well. I don't know, JT, if you know what I'm trying to say. On the get off, how are you actually as a defensive lineman? Forget this play in general, just simple purposes. Are you trying to key the ball or are you keying the person so that hey, the play officially starts now? Because you're not listening, you're not supposed to be listening to cadence, I guess.
No, I'm keying the ball in the man. I'm using the periphery out the corner of my eye. So it's like I'm through my helmet, I'm visualizing the V of his neck and I see the ball and I also still can see the guy next to him, the guard. If I'm Tim Smith right now lined up in the 1 technique at the shade.
Okay.
The way he is in the gap, so as soon as the ball snap, I'm going to be stepping at that center anyway. And he will automatically
This is why you got to have your head up. Otherwise, you can't see
head up, and then also pre-snap. Look at this guard stance, and you can tell if he's pulling or not. Those are some of the tips and tendencies that guys don't understand. The offensive lineman stance is going to tell you pretty much if he's pulling or if it's going to be a draw set or something quick.
Well, did you get excited when you saw the South Carolina film on there? Did you be like, "Ooh, they're my boys right there"? Whatever. Are you a Carolina fan, or you just are you a Bama fan? You didn't came on over and be like, "Hey, man, I'm just."
Nah, man, I'm always a Gamecock fan. I root for the Gamecocks, win or lose. Shoot, them and our women's basketball program is elite, so
That's why you're a fan. I knew it was because of the girls' basketball. It wasn't because of football.
I mean, I represent the school because that's where my degree is from. But I really fool with the football program? No, I don't. The basketball program showed me more love than a football program.
Really?
So that's why I don't never hear me saying nothing about South Carolina football like that unless it's a big game. And they beat a buddy of mine that I know or something. But other than that, I don't rep the football program.
That's embarrassing. Why do you think that is? What the heck is going on?
Because South Carolina, they don't change so many coaches, Beamer, Muschamp, and all of them. They don't understand taking care of their alumni as far as I can't never get a program. You don't get a letter. It's hard to get tickets to come to a game. I'm like, the basketball program sent me so much love. The men's and women's basketball program showed me more love than the school. Even when I was playing, we couldn't even get care packages of you can't even get a T-shirt. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Oh, well.
That's the difference. As you even in the league, there's some teams in the league that send guys care packages all the time, like the Ravens and the Raiders. Those are top organizations. If you play, I don't care if you practice squad them for 2 weeks. They send guys packages, invite them back all the time.
Yeah, people ask me that all the time on why I don't deal with the Packers, and that's essentially why too. I don't know that I've ever been asked back for anything from the Packers. I
Yeah.
was a first round draft pick, and I had a good career there, but nothing. Okay, all right. So what's next? I just, JT, I don't know, and I'm glad you pointed out this 4 point stance because I totally missed it when I was just watching this stuff. It just looked like he's not comfortable. Go back just a
He's
little
not
bit. Even
comfortable.
when he was
He's
getting
not comfortable.
getting down in the stance, you see he's kind of there, and then it's what the heck is that? How do you fix that?
He's not comfortable because you're also trying to tell him. Because in this situation, I think he really should be. I don't know if he's a 3 or is he really a 4 in this situation.
I think he's supposed to be a 4-eye.
Because of the 0.
Yeah, because of the 0. I think it's their mint front 4-eye 0 4-eye.
Explain
Well,
that
I
just
know
for a
some. I
second.
also
But
know.
people are gonna might get confused about the 0. JT, can you kind of tell them what the we're getting high level here?
All head up techniques are even numbers. So 0, 2, 4, 6.
Yeah, we won't go out there. Just just go through that. Yeah.
And then if you're inside, it gets an eye attached to it. So if you're inside shade, it's the number of head up with an eye after it. If you're outside shade, you get the odd number, except for the tight end.
Yeah, tight end is different. Don't. All right, so we're trying to figure out if he's a 4-eye or.
Do you think here's a theory? Do you think that he's in a 4-point stance because it's more comfortable for him to actually get his eyes up?
I mean, that could be a possibility, but his head still ain't all the way right though, because 4 point stance it causes you to false step.
Right.
All right, so what's a false step as a defensive lineman? You got to step forward and not. What are your steps supposed to be? Maybe you can talk us through that.
Well, he should be stepping straight ahead. If he's in a 4, his hand should replace that tackle foot right there. His hand, when he pick his hand up, his foot should be replacing it and going through that inside shoulder.
Okay, so in this scenario, so you would have the left hand down, correct?
Right hand
if
down.
he was or right hand down.
Well,
No,
he's a
still have
4-eye, right?
Well,
you have your technique hand down, right? So if you're in a 4-eye,
Yeah.
you'd have your right hand down. If you were in a 3, you'd have your left hand down.
Okay, so then you got a step. So he's got a right foot down. That means his left. If his right hand would be down, his left foot would be back. I'm just trying to. Now I know we're getting real high level here, and you're trying to work on the shoulder. Did we miss it?
Well, here he is. This is him right here.
He got his right hand down.
For a second. What? What is that?
Something about his stance, he's not comfortable. I'm telling you, he's just not comfortable. So they just been letting him play freestyle. He's just freestyling.
You think he's faster? It's just like track start. I mean, maybe he thinks he's getting.
I mean, yeah, but you notice he's shooting like he's shooting out a cannon. And look at his.
What is it? 3rd and 3.
Yep, 3rd and 3.
I mean, it's pretty good though, right? I mean, outside of all of this, seemed like they're like a go call.
Yeah, it's a straight call because you see the back on the outside, he's coming. So he really had containment, and that's probably why he's in a 4-eye like that too, because he's really supposed to get outside for containment. It's almost like Allen.
Yeah, he's okay. Hey, look at you already.
Come on, man! I already know this. I do this in my sleep, JT. And not to be funny, this is like I do this all day, like film and breaking down players and what's the name. I do this. The first 5 minutes, I can tell if the kid got it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about. Okay, so he was originally trying to get to the outside of this tackle, is what you're saying. And now, how does he know how to fall back? What is it at this point?
The tackle kept kicking out, so why not? It opened up, and the guard left the space because he seen the end coming. So boom, that's all. Just fall
But
right
do you start yelling at the guy seriously as a coach I love it. Okay, I'm not saying I think this is a tremendous play, but I always and now I got my head coach's hat on. What if this quarterback, this Cam Ward or somebody? Yeah, he's gonna spin out and go the other way. He ain't gonna stay in there.
Oh no, most definitely. I mean, that's Lamar Jackson going the other way. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just him understanding. And this, yeah, as a coach, I like this because he's fine. But now, if he got outside of us, we'd be yelling at him. As D-line coach, I'll be yelling at head coach. You'll be yelling at me and yelling at him. I thought you told him to get outside. So I mean, I get that.
All right. I mean, but it's pretty athletic. So does this
I mean,
help
you,
you
you
from an
also got to know your
evaluation
personnel,
standpoint?
right? Like you go in and like, hey, yeah, this is Lenore Sellers. He can run, but he ain't Lamar Jackson. And he ain't Jalen Milrow. If I
No,
if I get
Sellers. If you knew Sellers holds on to the ball too long. He was a freshman quarterback,
Mhm.
and he held on to the ball too long. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but his decision making is not always on time. That's when you have a young quarterback, of course. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's go to the other side and just talk about some difference. So 96 on the other side, the nose. What do you think about this technique wise? What are you saying? A guy like this, it just looks like it. I don't.
Technique wise, he's just running just to run. He's not running with a purpose. So on that, they spanning out. He should just be going straight. He should be running straight up a line. But then again, he's in a zero. So with the blitz playing, he's just trying to get to the B gap. It looks like that's all. Really, you got A gap. He got to really in this in the passing. He has the two. He's the one with the two-way go.
Meaning he could dip back under this guy if he wanted to the
Yep.
right.
He has the two-way go.
All right. Well, so what do you think about this? Does this show from that particular play athleticism? Like, does it help when you're evaluating them? Does that make you see, oh man, he got a little juice, a little burst, or is that
No, he has juice and burst. The thing about him, what makes him so good, and I say why he's versatile, because I look at this kid, he could play anywhere along the defensive line. And
okay?
be truthfully, if I was in the personnel department, I think he should go to a team that's a 3-4 scheme.
Because
You got versatile defensive linemen. Versatile defensive linemen need to play in a 3-4 scheme because you can play over the center, guard, tackle, wherever, especially in the run game. And if he's powerful with his first step, he has so much knock him back that he's creating a new line of scrimmage every time.
okay, all right,
and so this is later on in the year.
yes,
Uh,
2 point.
he don't actually put his other hand down. So maybe it got worked on.
Maybe they fixed it. This is interesting. Left hand.
Yeah, but even
Yeah,
right
so-
here, I would knew this is pass or something quick because look how big of the split is on his backside.
The tackle and the guard.
Yes, that's pre-snap read. That's your pre-snap read. That should tell you something fishy fair happened.
Yeah. So what, like a hinge here because everybody else going this way?
Yeah, your hands and everybody going that way. And then the running back is going in motion, so something got to be coming out quick. There ain't no point. You got to go. You should have made that. Should have made that sooner. Instead of reach and run through him. That's the biggest problem with Lime. And he crossed his feet. Biggest thing with Lime. He could have made it back there on the white line if he just run through him.
You talking about in his first 3 steps where he's stepped over? You don't want him to cross over right there.
No. To get many crossover, that was a real good, powerful all SEC guard. He would have been back when them 11 is. He would have hit the crap out of him. Because anytime a linebacker, you know it as a safety, anybody, you coming down with them big boys, you cross your feet over, they're going to knock you out and make you off balance. You're easy to fall. Yeah, granted, he made the play, but he could have made it even sooner.
Interesting
That's
test.
what guys don't understand. That's the difference in being a playmaker. Aaron Donald, Warren Sapp, those guys made plays in the backfield. Richard Seymour, those guys made plays in the backfield.
Hold on. I think you also would probably need to say that's the difference in being a day 3 pick and a day 2 pick. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
I mean, that is true too. And this is the reason why he should go back to school to improve his stock. Because he got the tools.
And that's so interesting you say that, JT, or that to hear him say that because, to some of us, you're going, dang, he got off the ball doggone quick. You know, it looks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he's chasing. And you're like, man, he forced him out of there. But he's saying it could even be a little bit better. That he just need to get going and he should
Yeah,
be
why are you
attacking his
wasting your
quarterback.
time? You know the play is going that way. Why are you even wasting your time with that player?
Mm.
Guys do it all the time. You see the center going, why you worry about him? Because normally back in the day, that's a cut. You're cut.
But from the guard, going
Mhm.
down on his
Yep.
legs right there.
Automatically, he's going down on you. And you're crossing over. You have no power when you cross over.
Okay.
It's not a base. They're talking coaching terms. You got to have a good, decent base. Thing about
This is
right now,
earlier
he's
back
lining up.
in the year now because they're not in order. Sorry, because this is South Florida. And they played when they play second game
Second game, yeah.
back in the fourth.
But it's cool. I like his alignment here. But once again, look, he's in a 4-point stance. And I think he just wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, so JT pointed out a good thing about him, saying that and I didn't really pay. I guess when did we play South Carolina? What part of the year was that?
South Carolina was
Middle
game 4 or 5,
So it was still early, yeah, because Oklahoma was
second to last, 10,
late.
11.
So yeah, so maybe they kept working on it, getting better. You know, we only got a small sample here, and you know, maybe if we went and looked at Auburn or something else, maybe it looks different. All right, what about the footwork on this? You're talking about shedding or the throwing and all this. What talking about the initial footwork right here? You like what's
This
happening
for
here?
where I like it. It could be better. He's stepping sideways instead of stepping at the crotch of the man. Stepping to the right a little bit.
Okay, what about the
What's
hand
up?
stuff we're doing now? He's extending that right arm. Boom.
Yep, he's standing right on. He got him back. You see him got him knocked back, press, and he got his outside shoulder free. So if the quarterback did keep it for, the boot, he's in position to make the play. But once you see the quarterback hands it off, he crosses face. That's good textbook. And he hustles right down the line, flat. He didn't take a 45-degree. He went flat down the line of scrimmage. That's a drill that you do when you come out the chutes, change the direction, and that shows he has good change of direction right there. So as you know, in the scouting combine and scouts, they like that to see can he get downhill? Can he change direction?
Okay. All right. Now he's out here on the outside. You're talking about versatility. Now he's
It's still good alignment. He got one hand down. Good.
hold on, JT. So now he only got one. This is a
Mhm.
South Florida game. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think now.
I'm gonna tell you what the thing is. He's not consistent. That's why he needs to go back.
Okay, what about this technique here? I know when you're
Perfect.
playing the 5 technique, you think it is good? Does he need to be stepping down more?
I mean, he could, but guess what? Right there, sit down. Good. You replace. You sit there. Sit down. Now you stay square so you can bounce to where the running back does go outside. You can get flat and use the sideline as your extra defender. Now you gotta wait, and now you miss the tackle, then you recover. But it shows his hustle, athleticism, but he could have made that sooner.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, last clip here.
They're looking over the sideline or something. I know we're always talking
I
about
mean, because it's still early in the season, I think they was making checks, and it was something that South Florida kept doing that they didn't understand. Because playing a team with an up back like that, offset. Well, I don't know if some people use it as a tight end or what. They don't know how to or why nasty. It just depends how they want to use the terminology on. Because most times you're going back across the formation anyway.
Yep, they got this quarterback that can run the ball.
It's just a different way to dress you up. Get you that misdirection and get you going one way, get the linebackers flow one way, split flow.
All right, here we go. What do we think about the technique here? Something you want to see here? Does he really need to be outside more to try to contain this? Or are we okay with just understanding that he's going to be tight to this guy? You got a fast running back coming outside. You got a force player.
Yep. There ain't much you can do on that one. I think he's fine on this.
All right. Well, shoot. Well, then I guess that kind of concludes our breakdown session on It's Tim Smith. So I think what I heard you say is early on that maybe you can work on the pad level a little bit. It's not too alarming. When I heard you say about him playing so high a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm just saying here.
No, he plays with high pad levels too high, but it's workable. You just need to get in the shoots. Productively, teams ain't gonna look at him as a pass rusher because you don't have stats in the stat column. He only has 6 sacks. You know what I mean? So he's not known for pass rush. Right now, I think he's a guy that can stop the run, play first, second down, use his athleticism to throw him in on third down for your nickel packages to get him mixed up with the guards and use his athleticism, or the speed package. You know what I mean? For your, you put all your rushers down. But I think he's physical and he gets, he's violent. He's violent with his hands. That's what helps him. But if he could just get more film study and home in, he could be a legit play. It's not easy playing in the SEC.
Yeah. Does that favor sometimes, or maybe you're saying I'm hearing what you're saying technically, but is there ever favoritism shown in the draft or something, and which league you're playing in?
Yeah,
What
I'll take an SEC guy over a Pac-12 or a Big 12 guy. In the SEC, you look at it every year in college football. The top 10 teams are still SEC teams. It just sucked that we got to play each other. You know what I mean? You think about it. You're always going to see Georgia. You're always going to see Alabama. Always going to be up there. LSU, Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's 14. South Carolina. Those teams. And the SEC teams winning 8 games. We're going to the goal is to go to a bowl. And Kentucky goes to a bowl. You know what I mean? So it's just, even Vanderbilt. Come on, look at the season Vanderbilt had. The SEC is hard.
Don't remind
Texas
us.
realized that.
Don't remind us about Vandy, please. God. Yeah, man. Well, all right. So I think JT, you think he kind of sold you on that too? That maybe he needs to, he's going to late round pick or preferred.
My thing is too though, if he was coming back to school, didn't he have to declare as long as he didn't?
Oh yeah, he would have declared a long time ago. Yeah.
So most likely he's coming back to school then, right?
Yeah, he is.
All right.
He is.
Well.
Yeah.
I need y'all to give me his phone number. I need to talk to him.
All right, we can work on it. We can work on that. That's for sure.
Just some little pointers to give him. You know what I mean? To even if he came out here this summer for a week or two, you're Alabama alumni, so you know it's legit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we know a few people. Well, we can maneuver around a little bit and see what's up.
Love to work with the kid. He got something. He got some tools, and that's the problem with some of these kids. They just need a real film study because in college, you don't have even college, high school. You don't have enough time. You practice. You still got to do stuff away from the building, and I think that's what people don't understand. They think it's just, I practice. That's it. You got to continue to watch film study and know your opponent. The better you know your opponent, the easier the game is. I learned that from Dad Wynn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So go ahead and plug this up a little bit. So when you train, where do you train? Do you do this stuff through Exos or you with Sports Academy, your own stuff? Talk to us about that just in case.
I train everywhere, man.
Okay.
I train everywhere. I'm welcome everywhere. Sometimes I've been at Sports Academy. Sometimes I've been at Exos. I'm now at JP too. So hey, if you're a young kid looking to get better, just reach out on my Twitter. And I'm in the DFW. I travel too for a good price. But I mean, just knowing working with me is not just a name. I genuinely care about it. It's not I work with you one time. It's like a lifetime. I work with you. I help you. I help high school kids get in college. Just because I played in the pros, that doesn't mean I know everything, but I know enough to get you to understand the game and become a better player. You know what I mean? Sure. People got to understand, trust the process, and develop. Like it's kids that's 5'11" and say, hey, "Yeah, I want to go to Alabama camp." You shouldn't be going to Alabama camp. You should be going to Texas A&M Commerce, some Division II schools where you're going to get a legit look at and where you can be utilized. That's the problem with high school recruiting in all sports. Parents want to pay for these kids to go to this camp, just to get a T-shirt. It's not about a T-shirt. It's about setting your kid up for the future and going where they're really getting recruited. Not to go take pictures on junior day and say, oh, I was at Oklahoma State. No, good and well, your son plays JV and don't even get a chance to play on a varsity game. So how would he be? Why are you at junior day for Oklahoma State? No, you'd be surprised. Some of the phone calls I get, I'm just like, come on. Even when I train a kid, the first thing I ask them, what is your goal? When a kid tell me to play Division I, I'm gonna say, how you want to play Division I? You're a junior right now, and if you haven't made first team All State and first team All District, how you going to Division I?
Right.
Don't put the work in. These kids are privileged nowadays.
Yeah.
They don't want to work. They think we're just going to show up. So,
And it's harder with this portal in it. Less scholarships going to these high school kids. You really got to be kind of elite if you're going to go D1. But anyway, thank you for shooting your knowledge, spitting your knowledge to us, man. It's been tremendous. It's been one heck of a show, brother. I think you brought a lot to the table today. Looking forward to see what you do during the season, man. When we get these guys going and start going, it'll give us a good competitive advantage. Because there's one up front. Me and JT said we're back there on the back end, but I was always thankful for you guys up front.
It makes
yeah,
a whole
matter
lot
of fact,
easier.
I was talking about that. Is 57 coming back?
I sure hope so. He's still at the school. He's playing baseball right now.
Yeah.
Okay. He's the one I like. I've been watching the film. He has something. He's a kid we probably can end up getting into a Division II school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we'll definitely keep evaluating these guys.
ACCU.
I was just speaking to those parents about our evaluation process and shooting the truth. So you fit right in line. Well, we're glad you're here. So
he's a good one. I like him too. He's a good kid.
No, I like him. He has something to him. And then I watched the tackling drill yesterday too. It was another big one. I think he probably played offensive line, but I know he got to play both ways too. But he had a nice little size. He like he played tackle probably.
You probably talking about Marshall.
Had the blue shorts, red shorts. I mean, blue shorts with red cutoff shirt.
No, I don't know. It could have been talking about Roman. I don't know. We'll look. Anyway, I just put that up. I didn't put any annotations on any of it. But anyway, we won't get into the JP2 stuff just at this point. Maybe we'll have a full JP2 session, coaching session. Let other teach some folks on what we're actually trying to get done over here at JP2 as well. Because it's going to be fun. We're building. We're building. We're going to get that thing rocking and rolling. But Sean, hats off to you, brother, for today. The amazing breakdown. Everybody's going to love this. I'm sure to be talked about a lot. And we will try to reach out to Tim and see if maybe we can get some kind of conversation if his handler doesn't do too much. They got a plane. They can fly you out here. I'm sure they got a way to get them out here to get you the Sports Academy Exos. Hey, man, you can't get content like this anywhere except for here on Teague's Take. Make sure you share this. Become a Teagster. Hit the subscribe button, right? Like, we're going to see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We'll be back. JT's going to get a trim right here.
Hey, wrap it up.
We out of here. Peace.